Good evening, all my dear students. You are very young, coming 11th standard. Welcome in 11th standard. And from 10th standard to 11th standard, thoda physics bada ho gaya. Fine, but the concepts are same. And I tell you one thing. You all have learned physics since early childhood. You might be asking me how, कैसे सर? भाई 8 से तो 7 से तो शुरू ही हो गया ना CBSE का already you have that NCERT book तो था ही. Then 9th आया, then 10th आया, थोड़ा आपने 10th में काफी कुछ पढ़ा आपने physics के बारे में. But my dear friends, एक चीज I always it keeps on I think कि यार what is physics? First question, because it's very easy to start a subject. चलो सर आज फिजिक्स शुरू हो गया भाई. Number 1, number 2, number 3. No. Unless and until I understand भाई जो चीज मैं पढ़ रहा हूं वो है क्या, and what I am going to learn from that, this is as good as chanting हनुमान चालीसा बिना नोट जाने. Believe me, मतलब कुछ भी, not only chanting हनुमान चालीसा, कोई भी चीज आप अगर उसको बिना जाने आप पढ़ रहे हो तो फिर वो तो गया. फिर इट इज मतलब वो जैसे कि कहते हैं टाइम पास. नो डियर, फिर बिकॉज इंटरेस्ट नहीं आता ना. व्हाई टाइम पास? इट्स नॉट कि टाइम पास क्यों हो रहा है, बिकॉज इंटरेस्ट नहीं आएगा, हमें पता ही नहीं है. Like suppose I speak Hindi. Suddenly one of my dear friends starts speaking with me in Telugu. Very good language, हमारा country का language है. But he knows, उसको समझ में आ रहा है, मुझे नहीं समझ में आ रहा है. तो sometime क्या होता है जब मुझे नहीं समझ में आएगा, then what will I do? I'll just do like this, like finally I'll do this. तो ये physics नहीं होना चाहिए, my dear friends. तभी देखो कॉमन प्लेटफॉर्म बना है. कैसे? IUPAC नेमिंग आ गए ना. See, this must इंटरनेशनल यूनियन प्योर अप्लाइड केमिस्ट्री. सबने सोचा रशिया, ब्रिटेन, अमेरिका, सबका अपना अपना लैंग्वेज. दे स्टार्टेड नेमिंग समथिंग. इंडिया, पाकिस्तान. तो बड़ा मुश्किल है भाई. नोबडी नोज व्हाट टू से. अब उनका क्या लैंग्वेज मुझे नहीं पता, मेरा क्या उनको नहीं पता. Finally very difficult. Then this association, this thought कि नहीं भाई नाम एक ही होगा, and that will be followed worldwide. Same is here. कि we need to understand. I know what we do. We jump into the subject. हम ना कूद जाते हैं जैसे as if जैसे ना without knowing swimming, jumping into the swimming pool. पता तो चला चाहिए इंटरेस्ट में. व्हाट इज फिजिक्स? सी, फिजिक्स इज व्हाट आई एम सी. 10 टाइम्स तो मैंने हाथ ऐसे ऐसे कर दिया. दैट इज फिजिक्स नंबर 1. नंबर 2, आई एम रोमिंग बट आई एम स्पीकिंग. यू आर इन फ्रंट ऑफ मी बट आप मेरे सामने हो नहीं. फिजिक्स. ये सारे फिजिक्स. Computer has got a hard disk memory. We have a hard disk, cerebrum and cerebellum. Again physics. Now subject science जो है overall is a combination of the calculations and the chemical nature with the organisms of microorganisms and living beings. जिसमें थोड़ा segregate किया जाए तो physics is a subject which deals with the natural environmental changes and their comparisons while measuring. Comparisons while measuring. So it's nothing but a measurement. Frankly speaking, it is a science which gives you accurate knowledge about the nature and the natural phenomena. My dear friends, बोलने की जरूरत नहीं है, इतने natural phenomena we are seeing in 2020 that I think now you have understood. ये कुछ ज़्यादा natural हो गया है, starting from the cyclone in West Bengal, Odisha, then the repeated tremors, earthquakes in Delhi region and NCR region. ये natural है dear. Now you will say, sir, physics कहाँ? बेटा, after every छोटा मोटा tremor या big tremor, the study starts. कहाँ पे? आज तक लाइव या टीवी एंड एवरीवेयर. हाँ जी, वहां ये होता 2.5 रिक्टर स्केल में मेजर किया गया. आ गया जी फिजिक्स. दिस इज द मेजरमेंट. वी मेजर्ड द इंटेंसिटी. हिंदी में कहते हैं तीव्रता. दिस इज दैट 2.5 रिक्टर स्केल. ये है वो. So physics is natural. That means it is going to tell the nature. कैसे? Why? अब तुम कहोगे, sir, only this much the measurement. नहीं. Dear friends, it's just nothing but one thing which I need to tell you, how these tremors are behaving. Tremors क्या है? These are waves. अब देखो waves. I need not tell you. आपने ये वेव एंड साउंड थोड़ा बहुत पढ़ा भी है. कहां से? इट ट्रैवल्स डाउन द सरफेस ऑफ द अर्थ, नोन एज जियोफिजिक्स, जियोग्राफिकल फिजिक्स. आ गया ना फिजिक्स. आई एम मूविंग, आई एम स्पीकिंग, यू आर हियरिंग. I am speaking, see, tracheal. Sound, sound. Wave आ गया? It's going to your ears. I believe you all know energy. I am smiling, I am able to tell you, बात कर रहा हूँ सब कुछ. Why? Because I have ample of energy within me. Isn't it? अभी अगर एनर्जी खत्म हो जाए तो पता चले, you will also start yawning. सर क्या कर रहे हो? See, this is what is physics. इसका मतलब, now what I am saying, you have to be alert. You also have to be alert. That is one thing, my dear friends, you should remember. Physics पढ़ने का मतलब है भाई alert. वैसे तो one thing I tell you, any studies which you do, you need to be alert. है ना? कुछ भी करो यार, alert होके करो. And now तो you are in a very prestigious, you have taken a subject very, supreme. So, and that needs very little time to spend. Maximum, here, use this. So that is what is physics we are going to learn. Now, many things you know, previously you also have done. What I say, that units you have done, fundamental quantities, derived quantities you have done, but still I'll try to recapitulate with you. देखो, there are physical quantities. There are physical quantities directly, indirectly, from where the laws can be expressed. So there are so many quantities that it was thought कि needs to be segregated. अब कैसे? Why this segregation is coming? Because few quantities when I am talking about few quantities are root, मतलब they are the basic quantities, जिसको if you remember आपने पढ़ा होगा फंडामेंटल क्वांटिटीज कहते हैं, फंडामेंटल क्वांटिटीज, फंडामेंटल बेसिक, मतलब नेचुरल कह सकते हो इसको, आप कहोगे नेचुरल. इट हैज नॉट बिन, मतलब ये रूट है, प्लांट का रूट, पहले रूट देन प्लांट, तो ये रूट है, दिस इज द रूट. हाउ मेनी ऑफ देम दे आर? I'll tell you, there are 7 fundamental quantities. Now, what are those 7 fundamental quantities? Let's write down. What are the 7 fundamental quantities? Quantities. Now, 7 fundamental quantities में first one is mass, denoted by capital M. Now, these are the fundamental symbol भी मैं साथ साथ लिख रहा हूँ. These are the fundamental symbols dear. Physics में there are symbols. वैसे तो I should not tell you, nowadays you know there are always short form. आजकल तो नाम का भी short form हो गया. Instagram, everywhere, Twitter handle, short चलता है वहाँ पे. WhatsApp, you know, texting भी आजकल short हो गया है, sentences भी short हो गए हैं. So similarly, you know, those big terms, physics में, chemistry में, elements को उनको भी short किया गया है, symbols. But let me tell you, these are very standard ones. We are not supposed to change them. जिस तरीके से हम बिटवीन को B/W नहीं लिख सकते, बट यू ऑल राइट. सिमिलरली, बिकॉज वो एब्रिविएशन अलाउड नहीं है, सिमिलरली इनकी जिनकी है, हियर वी कांट चेंज. ऐसा नहीं कि एम को हम कुछ भी लिखते हैं, नो 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 नो. मास एम, नंबर 1. नंबर 2, लेंथ. लेंथ इज L. Third, we have time. 3 हो गया, mass, length, time. 4th one, we have luminous intensity. ये आपने पढ़ा नहीं है, you will study little bit of it in 12th standard. Luminous intensity, ये light related है. इसको हम डिनोट करते हैं कैंडेला, इनको कहते हैं कैंडेला, CD, कैपिटल C, स्मॉल d, इसको हम कहते हैं कैंडेला. देन यू हैव टेम्परेचर. टेम्परेचर, रिमेंबर लॉर्ड केल्विन, उनके नाम पे के से डिनोट होता है टेम्परेचर. सो इट्स temperature, Kelvin. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 हो गया. 2 more. Current. That's denoted by capital L. I'm sorry. A. Last but not the least, amount of substance. Amount of substance. See, very basic part I am doing. Substance. It's denoted by mole, MOL. Well, might be you are not familiar, but आप लोग familiar हो जाओगे because 11th में ये is in chemistry. 10th में भी I think you were having some. So now, students, dear, these are the 7 fundamental quantities. Now, all are basic. With the help of these quantities, बहुत सारे large quantities will find. You will have force, you will have velocity, you will have acceleration. We have so many. Impulse, we have studied. Specific heat capacity, latent heat capacity, momentum, pressure. अब उनको क्या कहेंगे फिर? जो whatever I said, fine. They will be known as derived quantities. Derived quantities. They will be known as derived quantities. Now, अब वो derived quantities, अभी just now I said so many of them. है क्या? सबसे पहले we'll start with force. Or before that also we can start with velocity. सबका अपना अपना डिनोशन है. वेलोसिटी को स्मॉल v से डिनोट करते हैं. फोर्स भी डिनोट विथ कैपिटल F. उसके बाद एक्सेलरेशन, स्मॉल a, जनरली हम डिनोट करते हैं. अभी वेलोसिटी, एक्सेलरेशन, फॉर वेलोसिटी कैन ऑल्सो बी नोन एज स्पीड. माइंड इट, वेलोसिटी और स्पीड बोथ आर द सेम थिंग. जो डिफरेंस है आई विल टेल यू. जब हम मेन टॉपिक्स पे वी विल कम, देन आई विल टेल यू. और यू नो, थोड़ा बहुत तो आपको भी पता है. नाउ व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू से, द क्वेश्चन इज, भाई सर आपने बोला ये डिराइव्ड है तो मतलब फंडामेंटल से ही तैयार होगा. तो यू माइट बी थिंकिंग कैसे, हाउ वेरी ट्रू. लेट्स सी कि वाकई में ये डिराइव्ड है या नहीं. वेलोसिटी इज distance upon time. Speed is distance upon time. So distance upon time. सोच में पड़ गया भाई, distance upon time. अब वो distance क्या है? जब भी distance की बात करते हैं हम क्या बोलते हैं? 100 meters, 200 meters, meters, kilometers. अब वो क्या है? Don't you think it is nothing but the length? Length. And length is fundamental quantities. Length is fundamental quantity. Good. That means, हाँ भाई कुछ आया ये. Now, time. Again, time, fundamental quantities. So T, length upon time. हो गया भाई. दिस इज डिराइव्ड, यू नहीं, मतलब डिराइव्ड फ्रॉम द पेरेंट से डिराइव हुआ. दैट इज व्हाट इज कॉल्ड द डिराइव्ड क्वांटिटी फ्रॉम द फंडा, बेसिक रूट से विच हैज कम अप. That is called derived quantities. Similarly, if we talk about acceleration, वो भी है. Acceleration is, we know, rate of change in velocity. Again, velocity is upon t एक और. So in a brief nutshell, you have understood there are so many derived quantities. उन 7 के अलावा इन 7 के बाद, apart from these 7, whatever the next is, they all are the derived quantities. Fine, everyone. Now, before we talk about this, मतलब before we start, अब एक चीज और दिमाग में आ रहा है, you know, we are talking about force. हमने अभी force, velocity, this, that सब कुछ बोल दिया भाई. अब suppose you have someone named as Gaurav. someone named as Akash. You are sitting in a class, पता चला आपके क्लास में in the same section 10 Gaurav. बहुत मुश्किल हो गया भाई. अब तो teacher is very will go mad, and वो 10 के 10 Gaurav will also go mad, because whenever the teacher will say Gaurav, all the Gaurav will stand up. चलो भाई खड़े हो जाओ. Very strange. Now see, in order to remove these confusion, what we have? Gaurav Ahuja, Gaurav Bajaj, Gaurav Singhal, Gaurav Chatterjee, so on and so forth. क्या आया? सरनेम आ गया. But at the same time, please, Gaurav Chatterjee दो भी हो सकता है, Gaurav Singhal भी दो हो सकता है. Then next, in front of you, पूरा शक्ल बनाया भगवान ने. That is called an identification. Now you might be thinking कि सर how आप इससे क्या relate कर रहे हो फिजिक्स में? Point. Very good, true. I'll show you क्या relate कर रहे हैं हम. See, suppose हमने क्या किया? I wrote यार 100 जाना है. You will think ये 100 क्या जाना है, क्या करना है, क्या है, what is this 100 क्या जाना है? Very strange. 100 जाना है, 100 लगाना है. ये 100 क्या लगाना है? उसको 100 दे दो तो 100 क्या दे दे सर? See, all we are talking all ambiguous. 100. तो फिजिक्स ने भी सोचा भाई मुझे भी तो सरनेम देने हैं. So I have to give a surname or an identification. And those identification कैसे आया? मैंने बोला 100 लगाना है, 100 न्यूटन फोर्स लगाना है. पॉइंट. देना है 100, लो भाई लगा दिया. रुपीस देने हैं, so on and so. That means what I want to tell you, ये आइडेंटिफिकेशन, ये सरनेम फ्रेंड्स फिजिक्स के पास भी है, जिनको हम कहते हैं यूनिट्स. Those are known as units. The identification mark, or you say the surnames. Now units also, again there are system of units, broader vision. As I told you now, my rupees in my country is dollar in America, and taka in Dhaka, Bangladesh. See dear, why I am trying to give all this thing? यार physics जब भी पढ़ो ना, make it a very very natural mode. Study in a natural mode. Starting में मैंने बोला physics is nothing but it's out of the natural phenomena. Learning, studying, measuring. So which does not needs your constant sitting with the book and turning the pages. No. Believe me, keep my words. 2 घंटा बैठना है, 2 hours. But those 2 hours में ये जो top floor है ना हमारा, that should keep on working. This should not work. Yeah, my dear young fellows, physics learned by brain, not by heart. वो छोटे थे ना हम लोग, you know, remember teachers said run by heart. वो poem Ruskin Bond or whatever it is, where the mind is without fear, I still remember, by Rabindranath Tagore. So learn by heart, मैं पढ़ता हूँ, okay, keep on learning by heart. No, heart too, it's okay. Heart is very emotional. Physics does not need any emotional things. Very practical. And you know, yeah, practical people are not emotional actually. I mean, till they are practical, they are out of emotions. And जब वो practical से हट जाते, then they are within the emotions. That is what the thing is. So that's what I am trying to tell you. You don't get any points, कुछ term समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, अरे उसको एकदम बिल्कुल जो minimum learning language में उसमें ले आओ, and then you do it. Your dream, your vision, IIT or anything will be yours. So units, I told you. What did I say? Rupee in my country, it's rupee. In their country, in America, it is dollar. Pounds in Britain. उसी तरीके से units के भी America, Europe तो है ही. So we call it system of units. System of units. And that's what system of units is. Three system of unit. I'll show you. SI or MKS, CGS, FPS. One by one. FPS more often this is used by the Britishers. European countries, they only use. F stands for foot, P for pounds, S for seconds. CGS, more or less Asian countries, maximum they use. We. Stands for centimeter, G stands for gram, S stands for seconds. Now, if someone knows CGS, they might not know FPS. And if someone knows FPS, they might not know CGS. In order to make a single platform and a common platform, where you understand, same like IUPAC, that's SI unit. MKS, M stands for meter, K for kilogram, S for second. And SI is nothing but System International. It is also known as System International. International. That's what the basic thing is all about. So this is basically, you can say, the surname given, and that's how the things have started, rather, I can say. Now, up there are so many quantities, as I already told you. In fact, so slowly and slowly, those quantities, if I start telling you, so those quantities you have to be familiar with. Now, before we talk about those quantities, there are few units and orders and measurements we need to understand. But before that, before entering into so deeply, we need to understand the dimensional quantities. That's the base, that's the chapter which has to be understood. Dimensional quantity, what are these? Let's talk about the dimensional quantities. So I'll change a bit of here and we'll do the dimensional quantities. Dimensional quantities. Or dimensions. when we talk about dimension, before dimensional quantities, let us talk about dimensions first. Let's talk about dimensions first. When we talk about dimensions, what are they? Dimensions means, just now I told you about the fundamental quantities. So it's nothing but these are the powers or the exponents, powers or the exponents to the fundamental quantities. The powers or exponents raised to the fundamental quantities, which gives few derived quantities or units. They are actually the dimensions. They are actually the dimensions. Now we have dimensions for all the derived quantities. Like, let's start one by one, which you have a lot of formulas, which definitely you will go through from your book which you are following. Any textbook, better textbooks are there in the market even. So from that textbook you can go, and better you write down one by one and then learn. See, one thing I tell you before I enter into this topic of dimension writing. Remember the subject which we are doing, I told you, need to learn by brain. Why? Because brain is very practically thinking. It's the thinking material, the thinking part comes from our brain only. And you know one thing, the more you write, the more brain is taking it inside. So my one request to all my dear students who are there, please sit for learning physics. I'll be coming to that, Jitendra. You have asked me about derived किसे कहते हैं. Just now I'll come to that. मैं अभी आऊँगा उस पे. अभी मैं वही कह रहा था कि just when you keep on writing that, तो write and learn. Now derived. Just a moment. Jitendra has asked me, beta, what is derived? Derived मतलब fundamental, you have understood. जो fundamental quantities I said. वो जो fundamental quantities, वो जो 7 quantities fundamental है, उनसे जो भी quantities form हुए हैं, which are formed, they are derived quantities. They are derived quantities. Force, velocity, so on and so forth. Hope you have understood, Jitendra beta. Now, all of you others, I have given a brief description of your dimensions, and यहाँ से we'll start next time. Till then, do revise, stay well and safe. Bye everyone. Bye-bye.